YouTube, what the Attila crap is going on? HeirofCarthage here. I had a very fun encounter on Quick Battle. I ran into Wolf Blademaster, who actually have his own channel on YouTube. I'll put a link up to it in the video. Go check it out. He really makes some fantastic videos with a flavor that is unique in my mind. Some witty commentary, fun stuff. Blademaster's got a great channel. You should go check it out. He does like some interesting unit focuses for Attila. And then he's a guy who likes crazy builds. And so you'll see some fun battles and stuff. And like I said, just got a very unique commentary style. Really enjoy it. I actually ran into one of his clan mates as well here at Wolf JJ 13542. I'll show that in the near future as well. But wanted to show my run-in here with Blademaster, and I'm hoping I get to play some more battles with him. Because definitely a great guy to get to play some battles with. So we decided that we're both going to bring some very not so Attila-esque builds, in the sense that we're going to try and bring something different. He's got 6 skirmishers, including 4 levies amateur. His infantry line is really rather weak. He's got a couple of numeroi, some legio comitatenses. So he's got 6 infantry, which is quite a bit for Attila. But really, he's got some Contari shot cav, which are very light charging shot cav, some equites promoti, and then 1 Scoli Palatini, I believe. And his general, of course, is well, it's actually a Comez. I'm surprised it's not a Magister Militum. My army is pretty spammy. I've got 10 Legio Comitatenses. These guys have javelins and a lot of hit points. I knew this was a forested map, and I was like, well, in the forest I should be immune to pretty much all skirmish attacks. So I quickly moved into the forest, and I'm deploying in double line so that if he shot cav charges my infantry, which is an effective way to deal with infantry, I've got 5 more units behind, and I'll sacrifice my own men with the Plimbata darts and kill the enemy cav. My own cav is going to be supported by spears and levies amateur because I don't have many of them. I've got 4 Scoli Palatini for my cav, and I've got 2 levies amateur, 1 on each flank, and then in total I have 3 Western Auxilia Palatina, which are a pretty decent spear unit in terms of being able to deal with cavalry. My general is a Magister Militum, so really my army focus here is just to have reserves. So I got a frontline infantry, second line infantry, and I'm hoping that the high health level and armor and melee defense and stuff for the Roman units will carry the day here. Basically, they won't be quickly or easily killed. I don't want to just sit here in the forest. I'd kind of like to lead some sort of attack. So right now I'm considering if I just maybe charge his infantry here, it'll be harder for him to counteract, and then quickly bring in my spears and levies amateur to support. I may not win, but it'll get the engagement started. And if my opponent loses too much infantry, I'm feeling like I may do okay because my infantry will be somewhat safe from his cavalry in the woods, though I wouldn't say very safe. I've got my front guys in a defensive testudo. Don't know how much it'll help though because they're in thin lines, and already some movements from the cavalry of Blademaster. I take my cavalry in. Blademaster gets his guys into a defensive formation, so that's really going to help his guys out. And then he's going to countercharge with equites promoti, who also get javelins. My own levies amateur are going to wheel up and start to fire, but they're going to get hit by a Contari from the center. And Blademaster does bring 1 Contari up the center. Really wrecks my Legio Comitatenses quite bad. That's a great trade, but again, the Plimbata darts from my second line of Legio Comitatenses is going to start to take its toll. You can see all that fire coming in here, and his cavalry that's sent forward will pay a hefty price for having gotten involved with all these Roman infantry in the woods. So that was basically my plan. I lose a lot of infantry. That's kind of an understood, but I'm hoping that it'll end up paying off. His equites promoti don't get the best of charges, and just the javelin fire is going to be intense. So that's what I was counting on, basically, to pull down his cavalry with javelins and use the forest for safety. Over here, he, I think, won the charge versus my Scoli Palatini with his equites promoti, but then I reinforced with Western Auxilia Palatina, and Blademaster has been a little slow to bring his cohors Legio and Numeroi into this fight, and as he does, I'll want to try and pull away. My levies amateur get a chance to start firing at the enemy general, who's in this Comez unit, while he is engaged with some of my Legio Comitatenses. He got a great charge, but this is exactly what I was hoping to use my levies amateur for, is to get at his cavalry, and no better unit than the enemy general. I'm going to cause a lot of damage to him, and at this point Blademaster's cavalry is suffering. His levies amateur get a lot of shots, but with limited effect here in the center. So not a lot of kills. These guys can get a lot of kills in the right scenarios, but against the well-shielded Roman infantry in the woods, it's not going to work out great for him. So some of his cav units here in the woods getting pushed back. It is hard to see your units in the wood, and it is very difficult to control them properly. So I lost my Western Auxilia Palatina, so I'm losing on my left flank. But after having extricated my cavalry, his cavalry was lost for the most part here. I'm able to get into his crossbows, and this is going to be key. Definitely don't want the crossbows hanging around to late game. The enemy general dies while trying to retreat from my Legio Comitatense, so the fire from my Levies Amateur definitely coming in handy there. And I'm just going to go ahead and push the attack on his general and try and kill him. He doesn't have any units nearby to counter me with. His own Levies Amateur out here, though, are going to start getting some shots at my Scoli Palatini. That's going to be a bad situation for me. I'm trying to stop them from firing. I'm going to bring in another unit of Scoli, but this unit here is taking some damage and is wavering. But at this point, if I can control his skirmishers, I should be okay. Legio Comitatense is just going to tank it out for quite a while in a fight. They're fighting each other, so their stats very similar. This Numeroi, whew, that's a tanky unit too, very tanky. It's kind of like an upgraded version of some of the Comitatenses. So yeah, I've got all my Comitatenses in reserve, just kind of waiting. Like I said, I was just kind of hoping to tank out some damage and then use my reserves to take care of business. You can see my Scoli Palatini here getting fired on by these crossbows back here. I am going to attack these crossbows with the regrouped cavalry unit. And the infantry fight here is going to go well in the favor of Blademaster. He's got Legio Comitatense and Numeroi. His cohorts are just kind of standing back here, but they're going to charge into combat, and I'll let you see that. So the cohorts entering combat, and then I think I activate. Let's see. So I've got my Levies Amateur here. I've got a Legio Comitatense. I'm going to start pulling it over to the center. It's at this point I managed to rout one of his Legio. He's got these Numeroi moving around my flank, and I'm going to be able to just kind of overwhelm him with my infantry at this point. Got a returning Western Auxilia Palatina to come in with a rear charge, and then I'll hit him with the Legio Comitatenses from the front, so we'll do a little bit of damage. This Numeroi is going to be a very tanky unit. It's going to take more than this to kill them. My general, I kept him in reserve, hidden in the forest for quite a long time. He's now going to come out and threaten the enemy crossbows. He did start firing immediately on my Magister Militum, so I used the steady ability, which was going to give him a little more resistance to missiles. And then I went into loose formation as well, so just to try and discourage any damage that he was going to be doing with his crossbows while charging. And he's also firing with his other unit of crossbows, very smart. But at this point, his crossbows here are going to get wrecked. My Magister Militum hasn't lost any men yet. It is a pretty tanky unit. And again, I can just kind of keep holding his infantry here. I'm running away with these Levies Amateur so that I can bring in some reinforcing Legio Comitatenses. His guys have a few more men, and they actually have javelins left as well, but it looks like he's going to go into a defensive formation, which is a good idea too. I think that his guys would probably win in that formation. He's not in formation over here, so these two units are pounding away at each other. And then the fight over here in the woods, I'm going to eventually move to outflank his Numeroi, which is valiantly fighting over here, and my guys are not making much progress against it. So those Numeroi are man-beast of epic proportions here. Comes my Magister Militum to get rid of this last Ballistari unit. So my Magister Militum being a key unit here, keeping it to late game ends up making it potential for high impact. Yeah, I'm going to move around here. Well, actually, I've got the stuff turned off, but yeah, I'm going to move around his flank and hit him in the back with these extra Legio Comitatenses. I've kind of been wondering about the Roman units. They don't have particularly good attack, which is fine, because they have really nice armor, defense, and health. I say that, not really nice defense, but pretty good defense. I almost wondered, would it be cool to increase the increase their number of javelins to 4 and increase the range to like 80 or 90 since they were the small Plumbata javelins? I don't know how far they could be thrown. And a game doesn't necessarily have to be perfectly based off history, but it seems like it might give the Roman infantry a little bit of a unique flavor if they had several long-range javelins. Now, I don't want them to have like 100 damage or anything like that. I think their damage is a little bit lower right now, like 70 or 80, which is fine. They don't have to increase the damage of them, but I just figured that might give the Roman infantry some kind of cool feel if they had something like that. like maybe the better Legio carry more javelins and potentially have more effect. So, fun game with Blademaster. I'll go set up some time, or at least try to. I don't know how easy it'll be for us to do, but try to get some time with him in again. He's got a lot of interesting ideas about fun builds and stuff like that. He's a great player. I think that really the fact that I just spammed a whole bunch of infantry here ended up saving me. So yeah, it wasn't by any great skill on my part there. So definitely glad to run into Blademaster. I'll show you the battle I had with his clanmate as well too. The one that I showed you a minute ago, that'll come on another day here soon. Go check out his channel. Blademaster has got some great videos, and if you enjoy watching some of the stuff about Attila, you'll enjoy his videos. And he also had some great videos for Rome too, if you want to go back and watch some of those. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.